All right, so this is what we created in the last class. And I hope you can recall most of what we talked about. We've begun to work with widgets. We've begun to work with widgets. We've looked at we've talked about the material app widget, where we said the material app widget is a very important widget in your applications because it provides the base settings and configuration for your entire app. Then we've also talked about the scaffold widget. So the scaffold widget is the widget you use when you are building the different screens in your application. Like this profile screen that we are trying to build. Okay, this scaffold widget is going to help us in structuring the screen. For example, it is with the scaffold widget that we're able to add an app bar. Okay, because the scaffold widget provides a way for you to add an app bar like this. Okay, the scaffold widget also has a body property. Okay, it has the app bar property. It has the body property, which we have seen and we've used. And at the moment, for the body, okay, let me just ask, for this scaffold right now, which section or which area would you say is the body? Where does the body begin and end from? Let me ask Evans. Yeah, let me ask Evans. Okay, for this scaffold, where would you say is the body of the widget, of the scaffold widget? Where does it begin and end from?
The body begins from the blue area.
Okay, you mean from here?
Just hold on, I'm trying to. The body actually begins from the header where the profile is.
Okay,
And
that is, you mean from
according
here?
to the code. Yes, sir. According to the code, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Is everyone in agreement with that? Star and David.
I'm trying
Are,
to. So let me.
are
Okay.
you in
Okay.
agreement?
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. I just loaded my
Okay.
code. I was trying to toggle between yours and mine. So the body
Okay.
actually begins from the blue area and ends at the
Okay.
ending of the blue area.
Okay. From year to year. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But there's a margin. There's a margin. So I don't know how to call the upper area of that margin of the before the blue area. There's a margin. So
Okay.
that part should be contained in the body too.
Okay. All right. David, do you have any contrary opinion or you're in agreement? Okay. To the end. Okay. How about Star? We have
I
two
don't have any idea what
opinions.
you guys are doing. I'm new here.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't hear you clearly.
I said I'm new. I don't have any idea what you guys are doing. I'm from cybersecurity. I just decided to join.
Oh, okay. Okay. Right. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So I'm sure as we progress, yeah, you would be able to grasp what we are doing or where we are driving at. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. David's answer is more correct. The body actually, you would say, begins from this point. That is just after the app bar. So from here down to the end of the screen. That is where the body actually, or that is what makes up the body right now. Okay, from the app bar, that's just after the app bar here, down to the end of the screen. So that is what makes up the body. The reason why this our card, and this our blue container, why it ends here right now, or seems to end here, is because this card has a height of 150 pixels. Okay, it currently has a height of 150 pixels. So basically, this card is the only content, of the body, and its child or whatever the card is containing has a fixed height, which is this 150 pixels. That is why this our card is only as high as this. So even though the card is the only content of the body at the moment, it is not taking up the full space available in the body. Why? Because we set a fixed height. So that is why it's taking up just the amount of space. There are some widgets that by default, they will just take up the full space that is provided by their parents. And we'll get to see such widgets as we progress in the course. But just have it in mind that the body, usually when you have an app bar like this, after the app bar, then every other space available there is for the body, or refers to the body of the scaffold. All right, so we looked at the container widgets. We also looked at the card widgets. We saw that the card widget is what you can use to achieve something like this. So this kind of view. Okay, remember this is the app we are trying to build. So this kind of view where we have this sort of raised area or raised section from the surface of the screen. Okay, so we are able to use the cards to build something like that. All right, so we'll continue from there today. And in the previous class, we used this container. We used this container widget. Okay, but for the fact that we are creating or trying to create this UI, there are actually some assets which we need or which we can get from this UI design. For example, this background which you have here, you can see it's a sort of gradient background. It has two colors. This is a darker version of this color. Okay, then also this user avatar and this green circle which we have here. Okay, so we have these as assets, or you could refer to them as images, which we can actually download from this our design. I'm currently on Figma. I loaded this design on Figma. So on Figma, you can get to export some of these assets and use them in your application. Now, you can choose to see this as you working with a mobile UI designer. So or a UI UX designer, someone that designs applications. Because the way the flow usually goes is when you want to build an app, you could work with a UI UX designer, someone that would design the app for you, and then would send you the UI code or the UI like this. So you get a UI design like this, and then you now write the code to create this UI. So that is really your work as a mobile developer. Okay, so let's assume we got this UI from our UI UX designer or from our designer, and that designer has provided all these assets for us. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm referring to this. Okay, so this. So we have this. Yeah, we have this for the blue. That's for this blue background or cover image. We have this for the as the